Good day, students. Welcome to Mathgotserved.com. In this clip, we're going to be going over how to name angles. Alright, the instructions are as follows. We are to name each given angle in 4 ways. Alright, so let's consider the following angle. So let's say we have an angle that looks like this. Okay, and then this vertex right here, let's name it J, and it also has 3 on the inside, and then this point on the ray starting from J, let's call this point point I, and then let's call on this point on this other ray, let's call it J. Okay, so we have this ray JK, and then we have this ray JI, and the vertex is J. Alright, so the goal is to name this given angle in 4 different ways. Alright, so the 4 ways that we can name this angle is as follows. First of all, we can use the number that has been assigned to the angle. We can also use the letter that has been assigned to the angle on the vertex right here. We can make use of these 3 letters I, J, K going from I to K, or we can make use of the 3 letters again, but in the reverse order, going from K to I. Alright, so those are the 4 ways that we are going to name this angle. So let's start by naming it using this numerical value that has been assigned to this angle right here. So let's write this down. The names are as follows. So the first way you can name it is angle 3. Now, the second way you can name it is with the use of this letter that has been placed on the vertex on the outside of this angle. So you can also name it angle J. And then another way you can name it is with the 3 points starting with I, J, K. Since J is the interior point where the angle is located, it's going to be in the center, okay? So angle IJK is another name for this angle. And then the last name is angle KJI. Alright, so this is the angle under consideration that we are trying to name. Alright, so this is basically how you name angles that look like this in 4 different ways. Alright, let's take a look at another example, and then we'll give you some practice problems to make sure that you have mastered the art of naming angles. Okay, so we have this angle right here. Let's say we're looking at this angle. Let's highlight it. And the task is to name this angle in 4 different ways. Alright, so let's go ahead and carry out the same procedure that we implemented in the previous problem. Alright, so the first way we can name this angle is with the use of this numerical value that has been assigned to this angle. We can call this angle 2. Alright, another way you can name this angle is making use of this letter that has been assigned to this vertex, this point right here, this point on the vertex of the angle. So you can call this angle I. Another way you can name this angle, you can make use of these 3 points where this interior point is the angle we're trying to name. So we can go from J to H. We can call this angle JIH. Okay, notice that I is where the angle is. And then we can also name it starting from H towards J. So we can also call this angle HIJ. Okay? So these are the 4 possible ways you can name this angle right here. Okay, so how well did you master the contents of this presentation? Well, to demonstrate mastery, we would like you to try out the following problems. The task is the same as before. We are to name each angle in 4 ways. Okay, so let's consider the following problems. Question number 1. What if you have an angle that looks like this? And then you have the following points. The points are G, H, and I. Alright, so let's say H is the point on the vertex, and then the number 4 is assigned to this angle right here, and the angle under consideration is this angle right here. We're to name it in 4 different ways. Number 2, what if you have an angle that looks like this? Let's change that. So let's say going from here to here, and then going from there to there. Bam. Okay, and then we have the points. Have a point here, and a point here. Say this is UTS, and then you have the number 2 here, and then you want to name this angle. Alright, so how can we name this in 4 different ways? Alright, and then how about we have an angle that looks like this, an acute angle, and then it's TSR, so S is the point on the vertex, and this is R, and then let's say the number 5 was assigned right there. Okay, alright, so what we'd like you to do is pause this video presentation at this time. We'd like you to try out these 3 examples, and when you're done, click on the playback button, and then we're going to show you what the answers are. Alright, so hopefully you had a chance to try out the problems. Now let's take a look at what the answers are. For question number 1, the possible names are, so you can name this one angle H, you could name it angle 4, you could name it angle GHI, or you could name it angle IHG. Okay, for number 2, you can name this angle T, you can name it angle 2, you can name it angle UTS, or you can name it angle STU. Number 3, you could name this angle S, you could name this angle 5, you could name this angle TSR, or you could name it angle RST. Alright, so that's that. So that's basically how to name angles of this format. So we'd like to know which naming method do you prefer, okay? Let us know in the comment section below the naming method that you prefer, and please tell us why you have that selected method. Thanks so much for taking the time to watch this presentation. I really appreciate it. If you found the contents of this tutorial helpful in your studies of angles, do give us a thumbs up. Your positive feedback is very valuable to us. If you have any questions or comments or special requests, just post it in the comment section below and we'll be more than glad to respond. Do not forget to subscribe to our page. We upload videos on a daily basis to our YouTube page, so do subscribe so you can get updates, notification of those updates. More support resources can be found on mathgotserved.com. Do check it out. Thanks again for watching and have a wonderful day. Goodbye.